Hello, I just got back from WWDC 2020 and it was surprisingly calm. Joking aside, this keynote was one of the best Apple keynotes I've ever watched. A little too much camera movement while the presenter was talking, but other than that, the updates were explained really nicely in a really fast-paced way, and the camera movements between the shots were epic. And if you've ever been into Steve Jobs Theater, especially when it's not crowded, you know that there is a huge echo in there. And they took care of that in a really nice way during this keynote. So it was really impressive. Also, a keynote without those woo people that are trying to start an applause is so much easier to watch. Especially there was a part during this keynote where they were talking about the emoji updates, which is the minorest update. And if someone was to go woo during that part, it would have probably made a lot of people angry.
And now we have 3 brand new Memoji stickers that let you send a hug, a fist bump, or even a blush to your friends.
Yeah.
But in a world where a keynote can be like this,
3, 2, 1.
wow, or this,
That's Stacy twirling her little heart out, but her dad doesn't have a Galaxy S4, so he doesn't have a 13 megapixel camera, which means he can't take the kind of awesome pictures and video of his daughter that he could with the S4.
Are you kidding?
No.
Dad, tell me that's not true.
Hey, I'm sorry, honey. I'll get the Galaxy S4 after the presentation.
Yeah.
I think Apple did a fantastic job. Now, let's talk about the top 5 features of iOS 14. Number 5, privacy, because I am not the product. This is the product. Now in location settings, let's go to Twitter, for example. You can turn off precise location. Under the passwords, it gives you recommendations about the passwords you've chosen for the services you use. I think this is going to come in very handy if you use very simple passwords and then your iCloud gets hacked and then everyone on the internet thinks iCloud is hacked, when in fact your account was hacked. When an application is using your camera or your microphone, now you get this dot. And when you go into your control center, you see what app is using the camera or the microphone. Under privacy, we have tracking settings. You can turn this on and off. And more importantly, we have local network settings here. When you go into that, you can select which apps you like to have permission to find and communicate with devices on your local network. And when you go into your Wi-Fi and hit this little information button there, you can turn on use private address, which prevents network operators from tracking your iPhone. We also have this new feature called sound recognition. Let's go into settings and turn this on, and I have cat and dog selected. So whenever this device hears a cat meow or a dog bark, it shows a notification on the screen. And this is done entirely on your phone as well. No sound is sent to a server or anything. The phone does it on its own. We have this app called Translate, and if you like, you can download the languages and have it work offline. Apple is very keen about the privacy, and I cannot blame them. Now, optimizations and cleanups. First of all, let's go into messages. And as you can see now, I can pin messages, which cleans the clutter a lot. And in the group messages, we can have inline reply. We can change the name or the photo of the group chats. And we have mentions. We can also send voice messages using Siri. Send a voice message to Justine and Jenna. Hello, how's it going? Now, when you receive a call, it appears like that, and it doesn't take over your screen, but if you pull it down, it can take the screen, and you can say, remind me when I leave to call back that person that I don't want to talk to. Also, when you launch Siri, it doesn't take up the full screen, and when you first launch it, you can pause it like this for a while, which is a really nice feature. I like it. Hey, how are you? And if your phone is on silent, if you like, it just responds to you silently this way. What's the weather like?
It's currently clear and 73 degrees.
And if you go into your settings, you can turn on show Siri captions, always show speech, which shows you what you're saying and what the response is in a written way. How are you doing?
I'm pretty good. Thanks.
Also, let me show you something else. When you're in a menu, when you hold down the go back button, you can select where you want to go back. You can go all the way back up to settings. Another great feature is the picture-in-picture that we already had on the iPad, and now it's on iPhone, and I think it's going to be very useful. I hope all the applications implement this as soon as they can. We have picture-in-picture also in FaceTime, so during a FaceTime call, you can set this any way you like. Another great feature that is hidden in our settings, accessibility, touch, is back tap. And what that does is you can tap the backside of your phone, and with double tap, you can go into Control Center. You can select any of these features. And triple tap, screenshot. Now when I double tap, goes to Control Center, and when I triple tap, it takes a screenshot. Scribble on the iPad. You can go into any place that you can type with your keyboard, and you can just write it with your hand. Let's go into search, which is not taking over the screen, which seems to be the theme of this update. Let's get rid of the keyboard. We don't need it, and just say and there it is. To see the other features of Scribble, let's go into our settings and Apple Pencil. And here, if you hit learn more, it opens up this screen. And this is where you can practice the Scribble features. Hello. That's how you write. If you want to delete, just scratch on it. If you want to select a text, you can circle around it, or you can draw a line. If you want to insert something, you tap and hold. And if you want to join something, you just cut it. And number 2, widgets and app library, which is implemented in a really nice way to this device, because if you don't want it, you don't have to use it. We still have this -1 page where we had our widgets anyway. But now what you can do is, if you like this, you can just drag it outside and place it wherever you want. On Android devices, I only use time and weather like in a really clean and nice way. And of course, this is iOS 14 beta 1. I'm sure they're gonna make this a little polished and better in time, because this battery notification here right now is not really pleasing to the eye. And one interesting thing is, during the keynote, there was a clock widget which showed the world clock. But in this one, we don't have it. I'm sure it will arrive soon. Of course, one nice thing about these widgets is the widget stacks. And we have a smart stack. Let's put this on the second page. And as you can see, it has its own little pages that we can scroll through. Very nice. But if you like, you can stack your own widgets. You can go to edit stack and turn on or off the smart rotate. But the question is, are we going to use this? Because we had widgets on our Macs for a really long time. And if they can make this useful, then it's going to be really nice. But one nice thing is how we can edit pages and get rid of the pages we don't want to use. We can just have the main page, and the next page can be the app library. And if you don't want to try and find the app you're looking for in this, you just swipe down and we have all the apps in alphabetical order, which is a great touch. If you want even more, what you can do is let's add a widget here and then remove the other page and then remove this widget and hit done. Now we have a really clean page. And if you want to get rid of more clutter, let's remove this, remove this. Now we can have this super clean and nice interface. But my favorite feature is hidden in the camera app. When you go into camera app and swipe, now we have exposure compensation that comes with a histogram. That's gonna help a lot because that means I can focus on one thing and set the exposure to something else. And I'm really hoping that this is foreshadowing a pro camera app, pro native camera app that is coming to iOS soon, because that's gonna be really nice. I know we have a lot of apps that we can download that gives us the professional features like Filmic Pro, but it would be nice to have a native app that comes from Apple that has the professional features. Also, now in the camera settings, now we have mirror front camera setting if you want the picture to be flipped or not while using the front facing camera. And prioritize faster shooting. This cuts out the intelligent features and just lets you shoot photos as fast as you can. The video and photo outside of the frame option is now put together and it's just one selection here. It says view outside of the frame. But I'm not sure how this affects the deep fusion feature we have on the iPhones, and I'll be testing it out soon. But in all of those updates, I think my number one is the camera feed, the winking of the upcoming camera features. But what matters is what you think. Which features did you like the most? What features do you want to be added or taken away? I am personally really interested to test out the spatial audio that is going to come to AirPods Pro, but I'm really also curious to hear what you think. Well, thank you very much for watching this episode. Subs if you liked it, dubs if you bucked it, and then I'll see you on the next one.